Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Badass Live channel. In today's poker segment, we're going to be reviewing some hands that we played at the $3,300 high roller sit and go that we played at the Monster Meetup Weeks in Georgetown Poker Club at Georgetown, Texas. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so apparently we're gonna make it a habit to pull all-nighters right before taking a flight to Texas because we are at the airport and we haven't slept anything, but we're gonna catch our flight to go and play the high roller $3,300 sit and go at Georgetown Poker Club. And again, this is the second time that we haven't slept at all, so good luck to us. See you guys there. Alright guys, this first hand starts in the first level about 10-12 minutes into the session. The blinds are 100, and King Kai opens it up in middle position to $300. John goes ahead and puts in the 3-bet to $800 and Jared flats. So I know King Kai likes to play a lot of hands. I know he doesn't need a very strong hand to open it up, and I also know that John knows this. So with all the dead money in the middle, I feel like putting max pressure, it's probably one of the best plays, as well as we have a pretty good candidate to do so. We had ace-5 off, and we go ahead and put in the 4-bet to $2,700. King Kai gets out of the way, John makes the call, and Jared decides to make the fold. We take a flop heads up, and it's 8-3 deuce with 2 spades. Now, he checks it over to me, and we flop the gutter, and we have the over, but John and I have like this little weird dynamic where he doesn't really like folding to me much. So I decided to just check back and realize my equity, see if I can pick a 4, an ace, or see how I can play perfectly in position against him. The turn comes an offsuit 5. So we make a pair and he checks it over to us again. We decide to bet now for value, and he just quickly goes ahead and mucks. So we start off the first hand scooping a decent sized pot, and we're gonna go to the next hand. Alright guys, this hand is pretty interesting because I have the mystery hand. The RFID wasn't able to read my cards, so you guys won't know what I actually have until the end once it gets to showdown. If you want to see if you can guess what I have, just stop the video in the river and just drop a comment below saying what do you think I had, and then you can see whether you were right or not. But anyway, this hand starts in level 2, is 100, 200, 200. Sharky looks down at pocket 6s and decides to open it up fairly large. He makes it 6.5x. King Kai decides to make the call with the suited ace. It folds back to me on the small blind, and I decide to go for the 3-bet to 3,500. Dirty wakes up with pocket jacks on the big blind and makes the call, as well as Sharky and King Kai also decide to make the call, and we take a flop 4 ways. The flop comes Queen 7-3, 2 clubs. So against 3 opponents being out of position, I decide to check it over to them, and Dirty decides to go ahead and put in a bet of 3,500, which is relatively a small bet. It's about 25% size of the pot since there's 14,000 in the middle, and Sharky and King Kai decide to get out of the way. Now, with this particular hand, and for this particular sizing, I decide to peel and go ahead and take a turn heads up, so I put in the call. The turn is an offsuit 8, and I check it over to him again, and he decides to check back. Now, I'm fairly confident that I might have the best hand here, and we see the river, it's a offsuit 10. So I go ahead and put in a bet of 12,000, and he thinks for a little while. He doesn't love it. As you can see here, he has pocket jacks, so he's beat by any queen. He's also beat by all the other pairs. Once in a while, I guess I could have some sets, but I'm not sure if I would play sets this way. Eventually, he decides to make the call, and we show him that we have. Let us know if you guess what kind of hand we had, or if you actually even bother stopping the video and tossing down a comment below. But yes, we're able to scoop this one. We had pocket tens, and it's good for a pretty large pot for considering the blinds. So let's get over to the next hand. Alright guys, this hand is about 30 minutes after the last hand. The blind levels are 200, 300, 300. And we start the hand by Brutus opening it up to $1,100 in early position. And it falls around to Tony Miles, who makes the call. Then it falls to us on the big blind, and we look down at King Jack offsuit. I think it's a pretty clear decision here. I think we're just going to call it off and take a flop three-handed. So that's what we do. The flop comes Jack 8-3 2 spades, and we decide to check it over to Brutus as we normally would with most of our hands in this spot. He quickly c-bets for $2,200, and Tony makes the call. I don't know where we at in this spot, but I think it's a little bit too needy to just fold this hand. So we put in the call and go to a turn three ways again. The turn is the 8 of hearts. Now I check it over to them again, and they both check back. So we see a river, which is the 9 of spades. Now this is not the best card for us because it completes the front door flush draw. Also a couple of straights get there, queen 10, 10-7 get there, and we're most likely gonna look to bluff catch, I guess, depending on the sizing. But Brutus goes ahead and bets 6,000 fairly quickly, and after Tony folds, I think it was close. I think sometimes I'm going to look him up, but this was not one of those times. And I decided to make in the fold, which ended up being the good fold because he river a boat, and there was no way of us winning this hand. Let's get over to the next one. Alright guys, this next hand starts in the very next level. The blinds are 300, 500, 500. And the hand starts by Jared opening it up to 1,300 with ace jack off. We are directly to his left, and we look down at 10-7 of clubs. So we go ahead and put in the call. It folds around to King Kai on the small blind, and he also makes the call with queen jack off. We take a flop three ways, and it comes 10-7-4 with 2 hearts. They both check it over to me, and I flop the monster. I have top 2, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a bet. And I decide on a sizing of about half pot, which is $2,500. King Kai decides to float me with 2 overs and some backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draws, and Jared gets out of the way. The turn is the 5 of hearts, so he completes the front door flush draw and also completes a couple of straights. But King Kai quickly checks it over to me, and I decide to check back for pot control and to see what develops on the river. The river is a 6 of clubs. It's even a worse card because now he puts a 4-liner in there. I'm beat by any 8. If he had 7-8, if he had 10-8, any of the flushes beat me as well. So now my very good hand turns nothing more than a bluff catcher basically. And he goes ahead and puts in the bet to 2,500, which is about 25% pot. For this sizing, I don't think we're gonna be able to get away. Unfortunately, it also screams, please pay me. So I don't really know where we at, but eventually decide to go ahead and make the call. And to our surprise, we are good, so we'll scoop another one. Let's go to the next hand. Alright guys, this hand happened about an hour and 20 minutes after the last one. There hasn't been really anything super interesting to report. I've played a couple hands, tried to steal some blinds, but some of them worked, some of it didn't. There wasn't really anything all that interested. I'm trying to keep the vlogs as short as possible so that you guys can enjoy watching the whole thing and not have to be stuck here watching for 30, 40, 50 minutes. But anyway, at this point we are already 6-handed. We've lost Dirty, we've lost Tony Miles, and we've lost King Kai. And the blinds are 800, 1600, 1600. John looks down at pocket kings and opens it up for 4,600. It folds down to me on the button, and I look down at pocket threes. We are gonna go ahead and set mine in here because we know that if we flop our set, we can potentially knock him out and add a lot of chips to our stack. So we put in the call, and everybody else folds. We take a flop heads up, and it is 10-4 deuce all hearts. Now He quickly checks it over to me, and I don't bite. I know that John is a little bit on the tighter side, and I know that he could very well have an overpair, even an overpair with a heart in this spot. So I go ahead and check back, trying to see if we can spike the good old 2-outer on the turn. But it's something even better. The turn, it's a 5 of spades, and now we are open-ended, which gives us a few more outs. And John decides to go ahead and put in a bet of 7,000. Now, I don't think we can fold just yet. If you flop the flush, you flop the flush. I know that we are not ahead, but we can potentially spike a good card for us to like really stack him and get some good implied odds, because I don't really think he likes folding to me. So I go ahead and put in the call, and the river, it's a 3. So it gives us a set, but now if you did have some type of ace high top hands with like the ace of hearts, he is going to have a straight, and he would have made a wheel. So he goes ahead and puts in a bet of 10,000, and unfortunately, I think with a 4-liner in here, any ace making a straight, I don't think I can ever raise in this spot. There's no reason to turn my hand into a bluff, because I can run into it and lose the most. Also, if he doesn't have an ace, but he has some sort of hand, like he does have kings, queens, jacks with a heart, I'm not going to get paid anyway. So I just go ahead and decide to make the call, and kind of know that some of these times we're just going to lose versus an ace. But unfortunately enough, he has pocket kings with the king of hearts, and we scoop another pot. So let's get to the next hand. Alright guys, this hand's about 30 minutes from the last one. We are down to 5 players, and it starts by Sharky going all in under the gun with just under 4 big blinds. The blinds are 1,500, 3,000, 3,000. He has 11.5 thousand. He puts it in the middle. Jared gets out of the way, and I look down at pocket jacks in the button. Now, I decide to go ahead and put in the 3-bet to 37,000. Brutus gets out of the way, and our lovely wife, Jen, wakes up with ace queen in her big blind, and she decides to go ahead and make the standard play, which is this going all in with her stack size. So we are going to be all in 3 ways. If we can hold, we are going to be able to put ourselves in a really good spot with 3 players left, and I think we would have the chip lead. So this was, in my opinion, the key hand of the tournament for me, because we couldn't hold. Unfortunately, the flop came queen high. It was queen 9-4, turn 10, river 7. We even turned some outs as we were open-ended, and now Sharky couldn't spike his king, so he was basically drawing dead. But we couldn't get there either, and Jen is going to go ahead and score the knockout as well as the full double plus some. So let's get to the next hand and see if we can get some of those chips back. Alright guys, so we are down to 3 players. First place gets $20,000, second place gets $7,000, and third place is the bubble. So gets nothing but a thank you for coming, and we definitely don't want to be that guy. However, we have to play to win, and being that it's 3-handed, we know that Jared is going to be opening very light on the button, as he should. He has to put pressure on the smaller stacks, and he's a very good, capable player, so I know that he knows this. So this hand starts with him opening the button. We decide to 3-bet shove our 8 big blinds into him, hoping that he doesn't have a very strong hand and we can just take it down uncontested. But unfortunately, we run into pocket 9s, and he makes the call. We're in a pretty bad spot because we only have 1 over, and we're gonna need to get really lucky in order to win this one. The flop comes 10-8-3 with 2 clubs, so we get a pair, but it's not quite enough. The turn is queen of clubs, still no help, and the river is an ace of clubs, and we are unfortunately eliminated from this tournament. It's kind of bittersweet a little bit, because I'm happy that Jen made it to heads up and she's cashing in this tournament, but at the same time, I haven't won a live tournament yet. I don't have a trophy, I don't have a bracelet, and all of my friends, including my wife, reminds me of that every single time we go play a tournament together, and I'm so sick of it, especially because all of them have some sort of win under their belt. So like I said, it's a little bittersweet, but we played our best. We tried to make the right decisions. Let me know what you guys would have done with the King 8 hand right here. Would you have just folded and wait for a better spot? You gotta remember that we only have 8 big blinds, so we can't just bleed our stack to death because the blinds are coming up pretty quickly and they're pretty high. So let me know in the comments below, what would you have done? Do you think it's a fold? Do you think it's just a call? Do you think it's a shove? And I'll be able to see and answer you guys and tell you what my thought process was. But we're gonna root Jen on. We are rooting for her. Jared's also an extremely nice guy. I just met him a few months ago, but he is super cool, super nice, so he definitely deserves the win as well. And we're gonna show you guys the last hand. They battled it out for quite a few hands, I believe. They played probably for about an hour after I busted, and here is the last hand of the tournament. Alright guys, this is the very last hand of our high rollers sit and go with Tony Miles here at Georgetown Poker Club in Georgetown, Texas. My wife made it to heads up versus Jared. In this hand, Jared looks down at 9-4 offsuit, and he opens it up for 20,000. Blinds are 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. Jen looks down at King 5 offsuit and decides to make the call. The flop comes 9-9-5, and Jen thinks it over for a minute and decides to shove. And unfortunately, she ran into trips, so there's no version of Jared ever folding this hand. They have a pretty good heads-up match. Jen came back and took the chip lead at one point. Jared came into the heads-up match with a huge advantage because he had a lot more chips. But at this point in the session, they were pretty even. I think Jen started the hand with about 16 big blinds. Jared had about 19 big blinds, maybe 20. And then this hadn't happened, and I think it's a bit of a cooler. But what are you going to do? Sometimes when it's not in the cards, it's not in the cards, and that's why we all love this great game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe button below, and if you enjoy it, please hit the notification bell as well so that YouTube notifies you whenever I put up a new video. I hope you guys really like this one. We're gonna continue doing more events like this in Georgetown, so if you want to be part of any of them, just go to our website. It's georgetownpokerclub.com, or message us in our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to accommodate any questions or any needs that you may have to come play with us. I'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below, as well as the notification bell, so whenever I put up a new video, YouTube notifies you and you're able to watch it. I want to give a special thanks to everybody that came out to Georgetown Poker Club for our Monster Meetup Week. We had a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Tony, for coming down and spending some time with us, playing some poker, taking my chips, etc. Huge shout out to Jared, aka the Bear, who shipped the high roller sit and go, good for 20,000, and also good job to Jen for coming in second and last than everyone else other than Jared. It was super fun. Tomorrow we're gonna be playing a 5-5-10 deep stack with Tony. It's gonna be a no limit hold'em game. I heard the action was insane. Yes, I was there. So please, if you want to watch that, just go ahead and click the link below and you'll be able to see it. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time. Alright guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys following the journey. If you're enjoying it, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button below. And also, if you want to continue watching, you can go ahead and click the link below. It will show you another suggested video. You can go ahead and give me a suggestion, drop a comment to give me some feedback. Any feedback is appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for following me in this journey, and I'll see you next time.